think my earliest memory of dealing with anxiety, I think I was like driving home in the car with my mom, and I was explaining that I was feeling just some type of like, there's so much going on. I don't know how to handle it. I feel very stressed out. I don't even think I knew what the word like anxiousness or being anxious or anxiety even was. So I don't remember how I described it, but just feeling like really out of control. And looking back, I know I experienced a lot of anxiety, a lot of kind of like feelings of like isolation, super self-consciousness, stuff like that. The first time I recognized my anxiety for what it really was in my early 20s. I noticed that I was feeling just extremely stressed out. I would wake up, like I literally like just, it was really hard for me to get out of bed because I felt the need to like obsessively plan every single part of my day and what order I was going to go through before I could even start living the day. And I sort of got to the point where I felt like I had no other options. Like I was really, really, really depressed and suffering from what was later diagnosed to be OCD. And I think it really took me until I like had a crazy, crazy big low at the end of 2018 into 2019 that I went and saw a professional, and it was like, oh, this is like an obsessive compulsive type of anxiety. And I think from there, I started to really understand what it was and get more in tune with it. If you're at the beginning of your mental health journey, I think my best advice would be to open up. It's okay to lean on other people. So, initially having conversations with a friend, a family member, if you have a therapist or if you're looking for a therapist, opening up to people and realizing you don't have to do it alone. You should not feel like you have to take all this on yourself. The fear of being judged, that's like one of the hardest things to deal with. I've been like a very insecure person for a lot of my life, and I still am. I think I used to come to social interactions and be like, I wonder how they see me, I wonder how I look. But I think as much as you can like be in the moment and more so focus on the other person and bringing love and light to them, I think you realize that it's not so much about you all the time, it's about the way you make other people feel. My song Modern Loneliness has, I think these are actually my favorite lyrics from the song, is love my friends to death, but I never call and I never text. I think anxiety does isolate you a lot. So, I know a lot of people, like myself included, have had situations where they make plans with a friend and then like you get scared to talk to them, or maybe one time you feel guilty because you feel like you guys had a fight and like you said something wrong and you just beat yourself up from it. And then now you're afraid to talk to them, even though you love them so much and you're afraid to express that love. Some affirmations that really help me are, I struggle a lot with this like feeling of deep inside, like I'm like bad or something, or like there's something wrong with me. So something that really helps me is to be like, I know that I have a good heart and I have good intentions. A huge thing for me is just telling myself that I'm not in control and just being okay with that. Gratitude is super helpful. I used to feel like it was kind of corny or something. There'd be a voice in my head that's like, it becomes almost like, sounds like cliche, but I think the more you practice it and the more, for me, what really helps, and I don't know if it's for everyone, but speaking it, like vocalizing it, everything from, shelter to your best friend, to your parents, to an experience you just had, to the food, to the weather, to, the fact that the earth is a place that we all get to like live on. And also I think a big part of gratitude is really like opening your heart. And for me, that's like comes from a visual place where I visualize the front of my chest opening and I visualize my heart opening. And the more you do that, the more the gratitude comes from this like very deep place inside of you. And sometimes like I'll get to the point where I feel the gratitude on such a deep level that I start like tearing up. And that's when you like really hit that state. The biggest thing for me during the pandemic has been creating a better relationship with myself. I think the biggest thing that's come into perspective for me was really my inability to be totally alone. I haven't been totally alone in so long. I have very far and few moments. So learning how to have a better self-relationship, how to literally try to be my own best friend. That's been a huge thing for me. It's totally okay and totally normal that it's hard to be productive in this time. I mean, if you think about it, like the way all of us have known to live life is totally flipped upside down. And we have to give ourselves credit how hard that is, right? Embrace the fact that you're gonna have anxiety. And I think a lot of times, we try to push anxiety away or feel like I shouldn't feel this. But I think one of the best ways to like come to more peace is to actually embrace it and tell yourself that's okay. Being in the present moment, I think for like all of us is incredibly hard, but that's the only place that real happiness exists. It's right here, right now.